Hey everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and I do realize that the irony of me making a Star Wars video and a Pokemon shirt when my other stuff is usually Pokemon is pretty evident. So today's going to be my first official Star Wars. I don't want to say Star Wars Theory or Star Wars Explained since those are YouTube videos or YouTube channels, but my first Star Wars video in general. So let's get right to it and talk about it. Um, so today I was choosing between either if Darth Maul had, or what if basically what the video is if what Darth Maul's plan would have been if he survived, or I mean if he didn't get chopped in half. Easier to call it if he survived, and if there are any issues within the Jedi Order. And I know people have made tons of those videos, but on Instagram, I racked up, I think it was a total of 17 votes for the Jedi one and 3 votes for Maul. And on Facebook, I got a 50-50 split of the two, so that's 20 versus 6 towards the Jedi. So let's talk about the Jedi. And all their problems. So, ironically, in the other room, my dad is watching The Last Jedi right now, and I think it's at the scene where Luke is explaining all the problems of the Jedi Order, which we will get to that because, in a sense, Luke is 100% right in that, saying how vanity completely destroyed them and other things like that. So, um, we'll get to that, but those are highly covered already, so it'll be glanced over. But first, I want to bring up the fact that they shun away natural emotions. And what I mean by that is the Force is a very emotional um, substance when it comes to Jedi. If they are using positive or neutral emotions, they're able to use the light side of the Force, and when they're using darker emotions, they're tapping into the dark side of the Force, which is a great way to explain the Force to somebody and great way to understand it. But the only downside is that the Jedi shun away the dark emotions. Now, it's never good to have, or I mean, it's not ideal to have dark emotions. It's not ideal to be depressed. It's not ideal to be angry. It's not ideal to be anything along those lines. But the whole issue with that is they come naturally. If you have a loved one that passes away, you are going to be sad. You cannot hide it away. And I know that Yoda in episode 3 says, miss them, do not. Don't miss them, don't mourn for them. But that is something that's unnatural. I know that if I were to lose somebody very close to me, no matter how much I tried to shell up that pain away and everything, at the end of the day, I'm still going to be thinking about that person and feeling sad and feeling depressed that they're gone. On the other hand, if you, even to the simplest of stubbing your toe really bad or getting into an argument with a friend or a random person or anything, you are going to naturally feel angry. You can't avoid feeling angry in any sense. So, them shunning away these emotions are, especially to young children and stuff like that, is very detrimental because it's basically saying that you're being bad for being a natural person. Now, I get it that Jedi are supposed to be these superhero esque beings in the Star Wars universe, but if you look at Marvel, even every superhero has a moment where they're angry or a moment where they're sad or a moment where they're using these dark emotions. Um, and I am going to be quoting episode 3 a lot in this video. I was actually just watching it last night with Angie, so you're going to see a lot of parallels of episode 3 and Clone Wars and stuff like that. Um, Another thing is that the Jedi are actually truly selfish in a sense. And Palpatine brings up that, or Anakin brings up that the Sith are selfish, and Palpatine goes, well, the Jedi aren't. which is 100% true when you really think about it. Look at the scenario in Attack of the Clones. So, we have, basically, to the Jedi's knowledge, one Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, was captured by an enemy force that may or may not have a ton of droids ready to attack the Republic. The Jedi always state that they're not soldiers. They do not want to get into conflicts that um, are anything to like be really, really big, like a war. Even though they do end up getting involved in the Clone Wars, but at this point they don't want to have to deal with a war. They don't feel that they need to. Um, but one little Jedi gets captured because they don't know that Anakin and Padme are also there as well. One little Jedi gets captured. They send the entire Jedi, basically the entire Jedi Order, to this Coliseum to save one Jedi. And they talk about being selfless. They're risking the lives of almost all the Jedi for one of their own. And why I bring that up and saying how that's selfish or self-centered. So they do that for Obi-Wan, but they mention in Clone Wars Season 7 with the Mortez sisters, or whatever they're called. I try to forget that arc, but they bring up a good point that they their parents died because of a Jedi's lack of responsibility of trying to save the parents while in pursuit of Zero the Hutt. So there is an issue of, if you want to risk bringing the entire Jedi over, or Jedi Order over to save one Jedi, versus kind of carelessly looking away at citizen lives as a sense of, don't know how to say this, as a sense of being selfless, that's completely wrong. Also in this, they say that the Jedi were supposed to be peacekeepers, keepers of the peace, stuff like that. And I get that the Clone Wars were orchestrated to show the Jedi throwing away all their ideals. But they kind of jumped on being these warriors and generals pretty fast in the moment of almost what looks like minutes in Attack of the Clones, where Yoda comes in with the cavalry and then they go and drop off, and all of a sudden you could just see Mace Windu and Yoda going, attack here, attack here, attack here. If you're truly keepers of the peace, then how are you knowing all these military strategies like that? That is farthest away from being a peacekeeper. And like I said, I would mention this. Luke bringing up that the Jedi fell apart because of vanity and because they let Emperor Palpatine come to power is completely 100% true, especially after rewatching all of Clone Wars, rewatching the prequels, and everything. He was laying it on pretty thick that he was the Dark Lord that they were looking for, almost to their faces. There was so many times last night where in episode 3, because I specifically was watching it thinking of this video, where Palpatine's just laying it on thick to Anakin and laying it on thick to everybody else. And they're just saying, they're like, oh, no. He's just hungry for power. He's a politician. He's not a Sith. And it's just like, there's a mural in there, I believe, if I remember right, a Sith mural that had to be there since he came in office. And none of them stopped and thought, it's pretty weird that this guy has a Sith mural sitting in the middle of his office. Okay, whatever. And then just ignoring it. So yes, they were so vain to the fact that even if the dark side was clouding them, that they couldn't just go, strange. And then something else that I wanted to bring up that actually was like going to be the main focus of this video, but I figured that this was kind of talked about too. So I'm going to allude to the sequel trilogy. So they made a big emphasis on how the First Order would go and abduct children, and raise them to be warriors in the First Order's cause, and played off how terrible that is and everything like that. The Jedi do the exact same thing. Why is that not taken as being evil or anything like that? Um, they're not giving these children a choice to if they want to become Jedi. Trust me, if somebody came to my door today and said, "I have the ability to make you a Jedi Knight," I would take it in a heartbeat. But and probably most children would too. But if you think about it, a lot of these children will never get to see their parents again. Will never be able to, or 99.999%. Like I even think I read Dooku Jedi Lost, and they basically were saying how it was a terrible thing that Dooku was able to meet his parents, and meet his family because he formed attachment, which is another thing that was an issue with the Jedi, is that there's no form of attachment. It's almost impossible for any person to not have any type of attachment. Um, you would literally have to not care about anything. Which, if the Jedi are enforcing compassion, you need attachment to have compassion. Otherwise, you would be, I really don't, I don't care if this person lives or dies, then what's the point of me having compassion to protect them? I don't really care if this building blows up, but I need compassion to, um, or I don't have compassion to protect it. Basically, that thought process. But yes, and these people are getting abducted at such a young age that they're being raised to think that that is correct, that you can't be attached to anything and stuff like that. The Jedi Order is basically all means a cult, in a sense. And it's a cult that's taking children and forcing them to have this belief. Also, taking basically children with superpowers, when you think about it, and conscripting them to be in your one mindset. Um, and it's very evident that it's brainwashing when you really think that they think that Luke and Anakin are too old to be trained as Jedi. There's no there They were two of the strongest Jedi ever. Rey also was a very strong Jedi that started at age 19, which is 10 years older than Anakin, when he started. So think about it this way: the whole reason why they're too old to begin this training is because they already have these human thoughts and feelings and everything like that. And because they're so old, the Jedi can't be like, "Oh, those are bad. You can't do that. You can't do that." You'd still be like Anakin and have that holding on to your mother, holding on to, um, this girl that you've had a crush on when you were 9 years old, still holding on to all this. And this whole time you're saying they're being told that it is incorrect to do that. No wonder Anakin fell to the dark side, being told that. Um, Also, one last thing is, the fact that the Jedi would even treat their people like that. Think that there's somebody so strong in the Force in front of them that is the prophesized chosen one and is supposed to bring balance to the Force, and they don't even want to train him. That makes no sense to me, to the fact that you have this strong Force user that if there were any type of Sith, which you were just told when you found this boy that there is a Sith, at least one out there, that you can't, have this boy trained when you know that they would probably go and take him right for the picking. So, sorry to kind of stop a little bit abruptly here. I only got about 30 seconds left of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Next week, I may not be making a video for Sunday. I'm going to try to. I want to try to do a podcast. So, if nobody can come to the podcast, I'm not going to make the video. So, I will see you guys on Thursday with a vlog video. So, please like, comment, and subscribe. and have a great day. Remember, we're all Jedi Masters on the inside.